Now, this story is in details. Events in Guinea relative to the coup that has ousted President Alpha Conde has thrust the relations between Ghana and the country into the limelight. And then the immediate connection has been the reported use of quotes from former President Jerry John Rawlings in the address of Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya in the address announcing Conde's ouster. But relations between Accra and Conakry date as far back as the immediate post-independence era, specifically between the two respective first presidents, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and then Sekou Toure. The duo, along with Mali's Modibo Keita, formed a tripartite Pan-African alliance with which Kwame Nkrumah was building a united African dream, according to analysts. It turned out that relations between the three went beyond the fraternity and diplomacy of its presidents and people, but at a point Ghana advanced $10 million to the Guinean nation. Now, the circumstances under which this payment was made was explained by Professor Bafo Ajimanjuya, a former United Nations senior governance advisor. Now, the payment was supposed to support Sekou Toure's government after independence from France because the French, whilst living virtually, took everything they had brought in as a colonial administration, from pens to tables and rail lines. France, under Charles de Gaulle, at the height of the push for independence, gave all its colonies two options. Either they wanted full independence or independence with some kind of limitations, that is to maintain links with France. Now, he explained a possible motive for Nkrumah to advance such financial assistance to a sister nation. Following his overthrow in 1966, the only African country where Nkrumah lived was in Guinea with his friend Sekou Toure, till his remains were repatriated to Ghana under the Rawlings regime for reburial. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has refunded 237,000 Ghana cedis to the pensions and salaries accounts of the Controller and Accountant General's Department. Director of Communications at the Presidency, Eugene Ahen, has said this now. The said amounts represent a salary increment paid to the President as part of recommendations of the Professor Ya Intiama Bedu Emoluments Committee. Now, making this known to journalists at a press briefing held at the Jubilee House on September 7, 2021, Eugene Ahen said the action demonstrated exemplary leadership on the part of the President. Eugene Ahen added that the President has also instructed the Chief of Staff to ensure that the Vice President, Ministers of State, Deputies, and other members of the Executive make refunds on all salary increments they are not entitled to for the period. Earlier in May this year, President Akufo-Addo announced a freeze on salary increments for himself and other members of the executive owing to the current times of COVID-19 and its associated hardships. Let's just take a listen to Eugene Ahen.
The President indicated that he had taken the decision to freeze salary increments for this year, that is 2021, for himself as President, the Vice President, for ministers, for deputy ministers, and also all other appointees of the executive. For some reason, when the President received his accrued salary from January to August this year, it was noticed that the directive he gave had not been enforced. Let me use that word. So, leading by example, on Thursday, the 2nd of September, he wrote a check amounting to 237,974 cedis to the pensions and salaries account of the Controller and Accountant General's Department to reflect the decision he has taken to freeze salary increments for himself. And he has instructed the Chief of Staff to ensure that the Vice President, the Ministers of State, Deputy Ministers of State, and other appointees of the Executive also refund increments that have so far been made to them, increments which we are not entitled to for this year, because he has indicated that there should be a freeze on all increments for members of the Executive.
That was Eugene Ahin on that one. Away from that, former Chief Executive Officer of the Volta River Authority, Charles Reku Brobe, a.k.a. Tarzan, appears to be calling for military takeover in Ghana. Reku Brobe on his Facebook page, Tarzan, that is Anochinana, launched into euphoria over the recent military coup in Mali and Guinea-Conakry, predicting similar destabilization for Ghana. Now he appears to have an idea about a plot of destabilize the country. The secret opportunist of the current president appears to be unsatisfied with the governing style of the president and wants him out no matter what. NDC Member of Parliament for Jabuso constituency and a ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament, Kwabena Mensah Kando, has accused the ruling MPP government led by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo of doing business with the COVID-19 pandemic. According to him, it has become necessary that Ghanaians are vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus, and so they have taken advantage of the situation to rob the country of millions of dollars, all in the name of procuring COVID-19 vaccine. Now, speaking to the media, he explained that though donors are giving out some of vaccines for free, government has squandered millions of Ghana cedis, all in the name of procuring some of the vaccines. Let's take a listen to him.
Kami wo krata ni de manim ha na de mi ni de manim ha krampo no de kasika ye se de anoa aduane de ama nkranfo nko amomadi a
3 FM
aburu mu over 500 million Ghana cedis
me ba jo aduane de noa ye noa ma nkranfo du
abai be de kasi ya sa se mu ya ni manfo
na wo mu no anya bi ani
baby misrawo anya bi ani se ta na wo sa de anya
bi a we an champ outside ho
okay
West End 100.3 FM.
What day? Fika over 500 million Ghana cedis. At the Akoto hand sanitizers, name, mask, and the Masikun Kulabra, Meme constituency. Cabin Pradiasa. Baby, or what? 1 mask crown coho. Then you covered the Ghana would be a day Ghana would be.
That was it. The former President John Dramani Mahama has said that the National Democratic Congress has learned its lessons in the 2020 general elections. He said the next elections in 2024 will be a do-or-die affair, especially at the polling station. Speaking in an interaction with Akina FM's, that is in Techiman, as part of his thank you tour, Mr. President said the current president has made elections life and death for him. He uses his Delta forces and visible forces enrolled in the security agencies. Let's take a listen to that.
He now recognizes Nana Akufo-Addo. He is the recognized leader. We've accepted the Supreme Court judgment. But the point is, yes, maybe a BCP na Odisianyansa. Yes, the 2020 Sianyansa. Elections, no, it will be won or lost at the polling station.
I see.
And the polling station, they're there do or die.
3 FM.
So that is it. It's going to be a do or die affair. He said he didn't say all die be die, but a do or die affair. And this has sparked a lot of conversations everywhere on social media and other news platforms, but he's been explaining much more on this. Let's take a listen to that one too.
But I know America said we learn lessons from it. Into the next election, here in China Supreme Court, we will do it at the polling station collation center, and we say it will be a do or die.
Your Excellency,
they don't understand do or die.
Your Excellency, Wadaroma,
do or die. It's an English idiom.
Okay.
It's an Kasabia Yawo Kasakwan.
Okay.
Over Africa, your proverbs, your bube.
Sure.
And you can't some young country in the straight format. And so you're the best and the back. In English, your idiomatic expressions.
Sure.
Omo free school in terms of idiomatic expressions as
here. 100.3 FM.
Do or die means a critical assignment you have, and you must do the needful or perish. And so you must do the needful. I just say, make us say, NDC be and train and go Supreme Court to be. There was here a year of polling station and the collation center was here. And so I don't retract. The next election for NDC is going to be a do or die affair.
So you do the right thing.
You must do the right thing at the polling station. And so I'm telling all our party executives, you must be at that polling station and make sure the right thing is done. You must be at the collation center and make sure the right thing is done. Don't abdicate your responsibility at that level and expect that after somebody has stolen the election, you go to Supreme Court to see if they will turn the election for you. They won't do it. Maintain sign. It's a do or die affair. It's an English idiom. Mubianko be in the dictionary and see what do or die means. It's different from all die be die. All die be die, broken English, pidgin jargon, but we do or die could be a dictionary in affair. And I say it's a do or die affair. NDC must man the polling stations. They must man the collation.
So NDC must man the polling station. They must also man the collation centers and make sure that the elections are won over there. Not after causing a lot of mess, then you expect at the national level for them to go to court before the case will be judged in your favor. And he said that it will not be done since the NDC is not in power. Now to other story. The host of Good Evening Ghana show on Metropolitan TV, Paul Adom Ochi, has been appointed chairperson of the Board of Directors of Ghana Airports Company Limited by President Akufo-Addo. This was contained in an appointment letter signed by the Chief of Staff at the Office of the President, Akosua Frimose Opare, dated 30th of August 2021. And then the rest of the board members include Managing Director of GACL, Yao Kwakwa, Tei Ajuko, President nominee Kwamala Nyako Jakte Nyako, President nominee Philomena Sam, President nominee Francis Kofi Nunu, Minister of Transport and Group Captain Gavez Winner, Ghana Air Force. So they formed the board of directors of the Ghana Airways. Or the Ghana Airports, yes, to put it that way. You're still listening to news out here on Western Radio 100.3 FM. Now to business. The local currency is back into free fall mode against its major counterpart trading currency, the US dollar, as it records its highest depreciation since the beginning of the year. Now, data from the Bank of Ghana Interbank FX rate show as of yesterday, Tuesday, September 9, 2021, the cedi was trading at 5.85 Ghana cedis against the dollar compared to 5.76 Ghana cedis. It traded at the beginning of the year, representing 1.64% depreciation, the highest it has recorded this year. The Accra High Court has halted the construction of a cement factory, which is under the One District, One Factory initiative at McCarthy Hill in Accra, following a legal action by its residents of the area. Now, in a ruling Tuesday, September 7, 2021, the court, presided over by Justice Joseph Edu Owusu Ejaman, ordered Empire Cement Ghana Limited to cease construction of the factory until the hearing and determination of an injunction application filed by the residents. Now, the residents of the area, under the auspices of the McCarthy Hill Residents Association, went to court to stop the construction of the factory with an argument that the factory was detrimental to their health and well-being. Executive Secretary of the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association, Grida Samuel Amegayibo, has described the rise in price of cement as worrying. This is after the Chamber of Cement Manufacturers Ghana had indicated the price of a bag of cement is likely to hit 60 Ghana cedis by the end of the year due to taxes and levies that affect production costs. Now, over the past 7 months, the retail price has shot up 3 times hitting 27% increment. Samuel Amegaibo says prices of the building materials have increased and that will be passed on to Ghanaians. And then in sports, the start date for the maiden edition of Aisha Buhari Cup has been moved forward by 2 days. The local organizing committee has announced that the competition was initially scheduled to start on Monday, September 13, but will now commence on Wednesday, September 15 till Tuesday, September 21, 2021. That the LOC said the slight shift of start date is necessitated by two key factors: an express request by the participating teams that their foreign-based players will not be able to arrive in Lagos for the games any time earlier than Tuesday, September 14. And then Guinean side CI Kamsa forward Samson Eduku has said his outfit are more focused on Champions League game against Hearts of Oak. The Guinean side faced the reigning Ghana Premier League champions in preliminary round of CAF Champions League this weekend. Hearts of Oak will travel to Conakry for the first leg on September 10 of 2021 before the reverse fixture at the Accra Sports Stadium on September 17, 2021. But with the current political unrest in Guinea, where President Alpha Condé has been detained by the military with government dissolved, many believe it will have an indelible effect on the CI Kamsa team. But speaking to the media, Samson Eduku, who joined C1 Kamsa weeks ago, believes his side are prepared enough for the Kage encounter. According to Eduku, the team is still having training indoors despite the political unrest in the country, and they are determined to eliminate Hearts of Oak from the CAF Champions League. Now in entertainment, award-winning sound engineer Hammer of The Last Two has clashed with social media commentator Kwame Asare, or Ben known popularly as A+, over the distribution of laptops to teachers across the country to aid teaching and learning. Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia on Friday launched the One Teacher, One Laptop initiative to facilitate that is lesson planning, teaching and learning outcomes. Every teacher in the public school from the kindergarten to the senior high level will receive a computer laptop each, and the government will pay 70% of the cost of the laptop, while each teacher pays the remaining 30%. So reacting to the initiative, Kwame A+, who is a strong critic of Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo government, indicated that since the introduction of the new curriculum, teachers and students do not have textbook for academic work, so it isn't important to give teachers laptops. And then rapper Pop Skinny has stated that it is high time he and his rival dancehall musician Shatta Wale make peace, adding that the friendship they had in the past was beautiful. Now Pop Skinny, who has been caught up in a beef with Shatta Wale, has said that they should forgive each other and live in harmony. Speaking in a viral video available to the media, the rapper, who was captured in his car with a lady beside him, noted that there was no point in beefing his former friend. Pop Skinny of Aswadi Music, in his message to the SM boss, said they should cease fire and also forgive each other. Before their rivalry back in 2019, the two artists were best of friends in the music industry. They have collaborated on songs like Hot Cake and Then Mayatra. Let's just take a listen to Pop Skinny.
Wale, you forget Bibia, sending anana yet in an efe, a man for fe. Ain't you know? We say, no. Say within your heart, oh, Phyllis, I mean, your Bonibia, Miss within my heart. I mean, me own me Bonibia, 80 February, interesting.
So that is from Pop Skinny. I hope Shatta Wale listen and patch up things with Pop Skinny. Now to foreign. Putschist in Guinea released a group of political opponents of disposed President Alpha Condé on Tuesday as regional bloc ECOWAS prepared to discuss the turmoil in the West African nation. Special forces led by Lieutenant Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya staged a coup in the mineral-rich but impoverished country on Sunday and arrested the president's sparking international condemnation. Now, the 83-year-old president was under fire for perceived authorization, with dozens of opposition activists arrested after violently disputed election last year. An AFP journalist saw about 20 prisoners freed from prison in the capital of Conakry on Tuesday evening, including prominent opposition activists. Lawyers representing the detainees said that 79 people had been cleared for release in discussions with the military. Now, the military released a communique on a Monday urging the Justice Ministry to accelerate the release of political detainees. Now, the government to be installed will be that of national unity and to ensure this political transition, he tweeted. Now, Sunday's coup triggered a broad diplomatic condemnation, including from the United States, European Union, African Union, and the West African Bloc ECOWAS, with calls for Condé's release. Now, the Economic Community of West African States is due to hold a virtual extraordinary summit to discuss the crisis on Wednesday, which is today. Russia also said it wanted Guinean institutions restored as soon as possible. Russian aluminum giant Rusal has a presence in Guinea, which is one of the world's poorest countries, despite its major reserves of bauxite and then a mineral use in aluminum production. Let's just take a listen to how the ministers were released. So those were schools of fans who were outside shouting that they have released them for them. And then activists as of that Somalia on edge as President PM clash over intelligence. Somalia's two most powerful leaders were locked in a deepening standoff on Wednesday after they named different men to head the politically unstable horn of African nations intelligence service. Now, the open row between President Mohamed Abdullahi Mohamed and the Prime Minister Mohamed Hussein Rubble, normally over a murder investigation, marks an escalation of months of tension between them and the country. And then activists threatened Gambia government over unholy alliance, anger and disappointment in the Gambia after the announcement on Sunday of the unlikely coalition between the party of former leader Yahya Jammeh and that of his successor Adama Barrow, seeking a new mandate in December. Human rights defenders see this as a betrayal to the victims of Yahya Jammeh's 20 years of rule. The sentiment shared by Hamid Adiamwa, editor-in-chief of the New Day newspaper in Gambia. Let's take a listen to him.
The party that decided at that time and held the position that Barrow will not be president of the Gambia. This was a party that held the position that the Gambia will not move forward from that era of tyranny under Yahya Jammeh. And this was a party that actually brought the country to its knees, and it was ready, if it had the opportunity, to burn the country down, just to keep Yahya Jammeh in position. So it's understandable that people feel betrayed, that the president will just 5 years later try to, get into bed with this same political party. So that's the issue. That in terms of the feelings of the people, the feel that the president has given them a middle finger.
So the agreement, he also says, stipulates that Jammeh's APRC party will be part of Adama Barrow's next government after the December 4 election. That the party spokesman also spoke of a possible return of its leader. He then added that secondly, the members of the 7E APRC themselves do not want him back in the country. They do not, because towards the end of Yahya Jammeh's reign, he was already turning against his friends and his own associates. And then he said he's sure that APRC members actually enjoy their own freedom without Yahya Jammeh. Critics fear that the alliance between the APRC and the NPP would deny victims their right to justice.
Completely mistaken to bring in someone as domineering, as overbearing as Yahya Jammeh into the country so soon. I do not think he's going to make that mistake. Secondly, the members of the APRC they themselves do not want Yahya Jammeh back in the country. They do not. Because towards the end of Yahya Jammeh's reign, he was already turning against his friends and his own associates. And I am sure that APRC people, APRC members and the bigwigs actually enjoy their own freedom without Yahya Jammeh. So what you're saying right now is just politics in play. The APRC guys need to be able to convince APRC voters that we are negotiating for the return of Yahya Jammeh in order to win their votes. That's all. And once the election is over and Barrow is back as president, everybody's going to forget about Yahya Jammeh.
Critics.
So that's all with the news, a recap of these stories. We took a look at the reason why Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah gifted Guinea $10 million after their independence. And then Akufo-Addo refunds 237,000 Ghana cedi salary increment from January to August. 1,000 predicts coup d'etat for Ghana. And the Minta Akando alleges that President Akufo-Addo has turned COVID-19 into business to enrich themselves. President Mahama says 2024 elections will be a do-or-die affair, and then he has explained much more on that. Paul Adum Ochre appointed airport company board chair. We did business with CD records higher depreciation against dollar in 36 weeks. Accra High Court has construction of one district, one factory cement factory. Greda says government must address high price of cement, other materials also. We did foreign where Guinea's junta releases prisoners as it seeks popular backing. Somalia on the edge as President PM clash over intelligence chiefs. And then activists threaten Gambia government over unholy alliance with Jammeh's party. We did sports and then entertainment. My name is Abigail Akofa Adasi. Do stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs. My producer is DJ Kobistone and then Daniel and the Sweet J.
It's the news on your favorite station.
West End 100.3 FM.
The news on the hour.